Welcome back, everybody. My name is Taylor Martin. This is the Best Damn EDC, and it's time for another video. And today I'm talking about Christmas gift ideas for EDC. So if you know somebody in your life that you're looking for a Christmas gift for, and they're into wallets or watches or flashlights or knives or any of that stuff, this list is for you. So with that said, let's do the damn thing. This might be 15 items, but there's a whole lot more in here. I'm trying to make it worth your time. And no knives. I'm sorry, that's gonna be a little controversial, but also I feel like knives deserve their own list. There are thousands of knives, and also most of the people in EDC, if you're buying a gift for somebody who's into EDC, they probably have a collection of knives. And if you buy them one, chances are you might get it wrong. And I would just suggest not buying someone in EDC a knife unless you ask them what knife they want or what they like. And from there, you can kind of deduce what you should buy them. I also have a $50 budget knife video that I published just this week, so you can check that out. Any knife on that list, if the person you're buying for doesn't have a knife, anything on that list would be a great option for them. So just check that video out as well. Maybe if I have time, I'll do a knife video, but the thing is, knives are very personal. It's just very difficult. I think anybody in the EDC world who gets a knife as a present or gift, they should be thankful and grateful. But this video is the other EDC gear that you should consider for Christmas. And first on this list is a key organizer. There are many key organizers out there, but the one that I've been carrying lately is the Trave key decks, and this one is a little different only because on the front you have a G10 scale here. On the back, you have a skeletonized stainless steel scale, but it has a built-in pry bar. So pry tool is something I use very frequently. People ask me what I use it for. The other week, I was prying strips of wood off the wall. I use it for my camera. I use it for scraping. I use this for a ton of different things, and having it built into the key organizer as one of the scales is genius. You also get with this a key attachment point, which I've taken off, and a deep carry pocket clip, and 3 different size screws. This will hold up to 12 keys. I have 5 keys in here as well as tools. So this doesn't actually come with any tools, so to speak, other than the pry tool, but there are other organizers out there that have tools and you can use those tools with this. So this is 50 bucks, and I think for getting a deep carry clip with it and the pry tool built in and a key attachment point, I think this is pretty solid for that price. The one thing I will say is this clip, my buddy Jeremy Sayers pointed it out to me when he got his. He said that clip seems a little flimsy. I'm like, nah, it'll be fine. It's starting to bend out a little bit just from normal wear and tear. So I can fix it, I can bend it back, but yeah, just beware of that thin clip. But that is the Trave key decks, and I'm quite enjoying it so far. Separate from that, I'm also including the KeyBar on my list for a number of reasons. One, the KeyBar has a billion different tools that you can buy for it. So like I said, I had them on the key decks. I still do. I have the bottle opener. This is called the bottle bomber, I believe. I have the key rabiner, which is just a carabiner for your key organizer. I have a pick, I have a file, and I have a set of tweezers all on my keys, which is really handy. Those are all KeyBar tools, so I'm including the KeyBar with its tools. So the KeyBar itself ranges from $30 all the way up to like $120 and beyond. It comes in a multitude of materials. You can get them in G10, micarta, you can get them skeletonized in titanium, you can get them in aluminum and copper, brass. They come in a bunch of different materials, and now they come in different sizes. There's like a mini KeyBar. It's a really cool product, and I love that they have so many different tools. So I have those that I showed you. There's a screwdriver set that you can get on it. This is actually an attachment for a utility blade. Tons of different things that you can add to your KeyBar, which makes it a really awesome gift because you can just kind of go ham with it. You know, you can get them a bunch of stuff. And if you want to see more about the KeyBar, I highly encourage you to go check out the video I did, which was like a DIY Swiss Army knife. So you can take your KeyBar and turn it into like your own Swiss Army knife with the tools that you want on it, which is pretty unique. But the KeyBar is on my list, and it ranges from $30 to $120 some dollars. So you can really cover the gamut with this thing, and you can really hook somebody up if you want as a gift. So while I didn't include any knives on my list, what I think you should consider for a knife nut for Christmas is a knife maintenance kit. Even if they've got tools and knife pivot lube or anything like this, they're going to be happy to have backups or just another set. Do you know how many times I've come across like body screws on a knife where you need 2 Torx bits to be able to turn against one another so you can get the knife apart? So while these are 3 separate items on the list, they do kind of go together. They would make a really good package as like a kit, a knife maintenance kit for Christmas. But let's start with this. So let's start with this. This is KPL. KPL stands for Knife Pivot Lube. This is lube for your knife's pivot. Pretty self-explanatory. The original KPL is very runny. It's like a typical lube that you would use, but the KPL Heavy is very, very different. You can see it's gelatinous. So if I take this lid off, it doesn't run down to the tip. You have to squeeze it to get it into the tip. This one kind of congeals when it's not in use. And then when it's shocked, such as you opening your knife, it becomes a liquid, which is a really, really unique property of this KPL Heavy. And these are very similar, but they do have different purposes. This one you would use on phosphor bronze washers or bearings in the knife pivot. The KPL Heavy would be better suited for something like a detent ball in the detent ball track, or what I use this for sometimes is for the axis lock on a Benchmade knife. This one alone, the original KPL, is $15. The bundle together is, I think, $30. And I don't think on Amazon you can get the KPL Heavy by itself, but really, really good idea to give somebody knife pivot lube. Even if it's not KPL, some sort of pivot lube like Frog Lube or any of the others available are a really, really good idea for a knife lover. But to add to that, we have this right here, which is from Xiaomi. It actually looks like a power bank. Xiaomi is a tech company. They would typically create a power bank, and this looks like that, but it's not. It's actually, if you see Wiha, this is actually a screwdriver set. This is the precision screwdriver set with Wiha bits, and it's pretty sweet, not gonna lie. This was recommended to me a ton in the Discord server, and I finally picked one up, and I'm not disappointed at all. So you have quite a bit going on here. This is a very, very slim screwdriver, and it's got a bearing. I don't know if this one's actually a bearing, but it pivots. So this rests in the palm of your hand, and you can twist this rather than having to twist your wrist over and over. You can just twist it with your fingers, which speeds up taking apart knives. I love drivers like this. And then you have a bunch of different bits in here. So this is a very odd bit. I'm not even exactly sure what that is. You have a few Phillips heads, you have some slotted or flat heads, and then you get into your Torx bits. There are lots of different Torx bits here, but these Torx bits, I'll start with the biggest one so you can see it, are actually security bits. So some knives, not many, but some have these little security Torx bits or security Torx screws, and they're meant to keep you from tampering with your knife. The Leatherman Wave I have has these, and you can't adjust the pivot without one of these. You've got this weird slotted bit. I'm not even sure. Actually, I know it doesn't fit this, but this would be for something sort of like this on the Bradford Guardian. I would need a slightly smaller size, a different span, but this bit is for an application very similar to this. And then you've got a triangle bit, and it's all magnetic, so you're not going to lose your bits either, which is really, really nice. And then it all stows away in this really, really sleek package. This is 30 bucks, and I think this is a really, really killer screwdriver set. There are cheaper screwdriver sets out there that you can get, but this one, having this really sleek case, is really nice. This is perfect for throwing down in a backpack, keeping in the drawer at your desk. And then finally we have a knife sharpener. This is the WorkSharp guided field sharpener, and this is the one that I learned to sharpen a knife on. I just did a video on WorkSharp not long ago, so you can see more about this there. I'm not gonna go into super detail on this. It runs $25, and you can flip these plates over so you can store this in a backpack or something, a toolbox, and not scratch up your gear. As the field sharpener, as the name suggests, this is meant to be taken with you, tossed in a backpack, kept in your car, or whatever, just to put a working edge back on a knife. You have a coarse or medium diamond plate on the back, a fine plate here. You have a coarse and fine ceramic rod up on the top here, and it's all 20-degree angle guides. And you also have a fine ceramic here for serrations. And then on the back side here is a strap with some compound already on it. This I think would be a fantastic gift for anybody, even if they've already got a knife sharpener system they like. This would be a really, really good backup for them for just putting a working edge on something while they're camping or whatever they're doing. This is a really good one to have. But there are also other sharpener systems out there that are worth considering as a gift. This is the new benchtop angle set sharpener from WorkSharp, another Kin Onion design, and this is the Spyderco Sharp Maker. Very similar systems. This one is a little bit more flexible, but also very, very capable knife sharpeners. Even if the person that you're gifting doesn't know how to sharpen a knife, both of these and this are very easy to pick up and learn how to sharpen a knife. I think any of these would be really great as a gift. One of the most raved about tools by me since I started this channel is utility knives, and this is one of my absolute favorites. This is the TPT slide from Big Idea Design. You've probably not actually heard me talk about this thing a lot lately, but I still love this tool, and I still carry it, and I still use the absolute crap out of it when I'm breaking down boxes. I used it a lot when setting up this office. So you put your standard utility blade in there. You have a few more tools around here. So you have a bit wrench, a flathead or pry tool on the very end. And this is technically a universal wrench that works for a bunch of different sizes, and a bottle opener, and of course a clip, a pocket clip. But this works with most standard utility knife blades, and it comes in a couple of different colors. There's a black version and this version, and a slimmer version that's not one-handed. So the TPT slide is one-handed. This one is actually $80. There's a cheaper version, the original, the TPT, which you have this little lock mechanism here that requires two hands. You can do it one-handed, such as this, but it requires a lot of practice. This is actually the one I end up carrying a lot more because it's so slim, but I love the pocket clip on this one. So it's really a toss-up between them, but there are other versions of utility knives as well. So this is the Rexford Rut. This is an older version you can't buy anymore. This is the Triple Alt Design Rexford Rut. And this one actually retails for, I think originally it retailed for $150 or $160, something like that. And then this is the one that I sell on my store, Carry Commission, and this is the best damn EDC version of the Gil-Tek RUK. I'm actually almost out. There were 100 of these. There are 3 left at the time of this recording, and I don't know that I'm gonna bring it back like this. I don't know that I'm gonna bring back the aluminum one. I have some custom titanium ones that I'm gonna be selling, but these are $45 on Carry Commission right now, so a little bit of a cheaper option. But these are the utility knives that I use. I rotate between them. I carry them very, very frequently, and I still use the absolute crap out of them. So they absolutely deserve a spot on this list, no questions asked. Continuing the Big Idea Design trend, this is my most carried EDC pin, period. This is the TI Click EDC from Big Idea Design, and it's a solid titanium pin. This is a custom version I did for Carry Commission. I don't have just a standard one anymore, but it's a solid titanium pin, and it fits over 100 different refills. Big Idea Design is known for that. So there are a bunch of really, really great pins available out there. But the reason I actually love these Big Idea Design pins is because they work with so many different refills. But the TI Click EDC retails for $100. And if you don't like this, the fact that it's a nearly silent click, they do have other options. Also, I don't think they're available yet, but they now come in brass and copper. So there's titanium, copper, and brass available. But if you don't like the TI Click EDC, that silent click mechanism, they also have the TI Arto, which is much more adaptable. This pin will actually hold, I think, like 700 different refills or more than that. I don't know, pretty much anything, almost any refill. And then they also have this, which is the PocKit Pro. It's just a very, very short twist pin that's also very, very adaptable. And these also are now coming out in copper and brass, but titanium is the main color. I lost mine. I don't know where my titanium one is. The next pins on this list are made in America. These are the Tactile Turn bolt action pins. This is the bolt action and the bolt action short. This one is titanium. This one is bronze. They also come in copper and zirconium, and they are a joy to use and write with, but mostly to fidget with. They are really hard not to just sit there and fidget with forever. The new click mechanism that he's using is amazing. The springs are really tight. I like it a ton. Don't want to dwell too much on these because I did do a deep dive on these in a video. There are some accessories you can get, such as this Timascus bolt and different things to make them yours. Really awesome guys over at Tactile Turn, and the product is great. And I think they now have a shorter version than the bolt action short. I think it's called the Mini. I don't know. Go look on their Instagram, Tactile Turn. Great guys, great product. Love these pins. And those Tactile Turn pins are $100. They start at $100. And if you want to get somebody a pin for Christmas and you don't want to spend that kind of money, you want to stay in the ballpark of like 20 bucks, brilliant option is the Fisher Space Pin Bullet. These are wildly popular in the EDC world. So you can get the Fisher Space Pen, which is just an old school design. It looks really, really neat. There's also the Trave version with a clip. So you can get one with a clip, or the Zebra F701. I made a budget video a couple of months ago talking about budget EDC gear, and all of the budget pins that are on there are highly recommended as well. Moving over to the wallet category, this is one of the most used wallets since I started this channel, and this is the Hitch and Timber Card Caddy. This stayed in my pocket for a long time. You can see it patinaed really, really well there for a while. I used the crap out of this. I still use it from time to time, but this is the Card Caddy from Hitch and Timber. He has a ton of different designs. So if you're buying for someone, it's probably best to know roughly what they have and what fits. You might buy them a card caddy and they might not have any gear that will actually fit inside it, which is a problem. This one fits a Fisher Space Pen and actually a Cadet from Victorinox right here. It fits a Cadet and a Fisher Space Pen. That's what this was designed for. It will also fit the TPT and the TPT slide and other things that are about this size, small pry bars, things of that nature. This is how I carried it, the TPT and the Fisher Space Pen. That was my setup for a long time. It can also hold cards in here and in the back here, as well as cash. And it's just a really compact minimalist wallet that also doubles as an organizer. This retails for $63. It's handmade in Baltimore. And Michael is also a great guy, and I really stand by all the Hitch and Timber products. Everything I've gotten from Hitch and Timber has been out of this world. They're really, really great. The newest piece of gear in my collection is this right here. This is the Yellow Birch Outfitters PocKit Pico. So I did a video on the PocKit organizers at the beginning of this channel. It's one of the first features that I did on the channel, and it's been one of my most carried things. I've had 3 different versions of this now. This has been in rotation constantly. I did my own personal EDC update video last month, and I mentioned that this has been one of the most carried things, and it's true. But Jay over at Yellow Birch just came out with the Pico, which is just a scaled down version. That's really all it is. He rotated the zipper and made it smaller, and that's one thing I told him. I said, I use the PocKit Pro as a wallet, but the problem is inside the back that the cards just kind of go everywhere. And I asked him if we can make maybe a custom version with like a card pocket in the back. He said that's a good idea, but he fixed the problem without even knowing it. Well, I think he knew it, but now this is my wallet. I just stuffed my cards down in here. They fit perfectly right below that zipper. And I can also put other things in here like cash, or I've got this little coin from my buddy Rick, this little copper coin in the back pocket there as well. And then you have 3 gear pockets on the front. This is the classic. There's also a modern with 1 big pocket and then a smaller pocket. So the Pico is brand new and I'm already loving it. But the bigger option would be the PocKit Pro or the PocKit. There's a bunch of different sizes and configurations over on the Yellow Birch Outfitters website, and the PocKit Pico from Yellow Birch Outfitters is just $35. So this would be a really great addition to anybody's carry. Another wallet that I've clamored over all year, I started really falling in love with the Trave Contour. Trave wallets are mostly metal wallets, and the Contour is their most expensive version at like $140. And the more I carried it, the more I ended up actually liking their budget option, which is the Trave Armored Summit wallet. And this wallet is just $35 with this little armored plate. If you can still find them without the armored plate, it's just $25. So it's a very budget-friendly wallet, and it's very, very minimal. I've carried this one a ton as well. In fact, because my cards in this PocKit Pro would fly around, I would actually put this in the back of here and carry it like that, because it was still very, very slim, even with a wallet in the back of it. So I've carried these in conjunction with one another quite a bit. Basically, you have one side where your cards slide in, very, very simple. And on the back side, you have this little cash holder. I'm not exactly sure what you would call that, but with my 4 or 5 cards here and a comb, which is just there as a placeholder to make this a little thicker. It's still very, very slim, and it is adjustable. So if you take some cards out, you can just pull this nylon strap, and if you need to expand, you can slide it that way to expand it just a little bit. But this is the Trave Armored Summit wallet. Very simple, very minimal, and I'm pretty sure right here is a bottle opener. So if you need a cap lifter in a hurry, you've got one built into this wallet. So flashlights are kind of a tough topic because there are so many different options and people get very, very picky about them. But one of my favorites this year has been the Olight S2R Baton 2. It's one that I've probably carried more than any other flashlight. and it's because it's super bright. It has magnetic recharging, and it has a moonlight mode, which is very, very, very dim, which is something that I think every flashlight should have. But the S2R Baton 2, I'm not sure if it's being phased out. I'm not sure exactly what Olight's doing. They just launched a bunch of new flashlights. They're running a ton of sales, and it's kind of chaos over there. There's a lot going on, and it's hard to keep up with. But the Olight S2R Baton 2 would be my pick for flashlights. This is $70, and I think for 70 bucks, it's a killer flashlight. The only complaint that I have is that it's only available in a cool white, and I'd rather have a warm light. The reason I'm bringing up what's going on over at Olight is because I don't know if the S2R Baton 2 is going to stick around. I don't know what they're doing. They rolled out the Baton Pro recently, and it's kind of taken the place of the S2R Baton 2, but it's a little different. Like, this one doesn't quite have that moonlight mode. It has a low mode, but it's not truly moonlight. It's a little too bright to be considered moonlight. But the Baton Pro, this tan version, will be on sale on the 16th of December through, I believe, the 20th. And they're also running a sale on the Perun, which is a brand new right angle flashlight from them. So if you want a good deal on a really killer flashlight, like, these are very, very similar flashlights, the Baton Pro and the S2R Baton 2. My only complaint about the Baton Pro over the S2R Baton 2 is that the clip isn't quite as deep carry, and I've had this one kind of tumble out of my pocket a couple of times. And that low mode is not quite as low. So the moonlight on the S2R Baton 2 is true moonlight, whereas this one is quite noticeably brighter on the lowest setting. So if you don't care about that, the Baton Pro will be down to $63.47, and the Perun, the right angle flashlight that's very, very similar but has a top button instead of a tail switch, will be down to $57.47. That happens on December 16th. It's their Christmas sale, and that's just where these start. They also have bundles with these where you can get it with another flashlight. As always, Olight has a lot of stuff going on with their sales. Check out that. It'll all be linked down below, but really you can't go wrong with any of these flashlights. And if you wanted just a slightly smaller one, there is the S1R Baton 2. And I believe this one may be going back on sale, the red version of the S1R Baton 2. With that being said, as an alternative, if you know someone who is a flashlight nerd, they love really cool flashlights. This one is relatively new. It's new this year. This is the LumenTop FW3A flashlight, and it's quite the flashlight. I don't really have time to go into this now. I'm gonna do a dedicated video on the FW3A. It's got a lot of different stuff going on for it. So it's got a smooth ramped mode. It's got a very, very intricate interface. But if you do decide to get the FW3A, which is a highly recommended flashlight, really great, probably one of the best bang for your buck flashlights money can buy, if you're gonna get that for someone for Christmas, do not forget to buy them a battery charger and batteries for it. And you wanna stick with an unprotected cell. You wanna get these with this flashlight because sometimes, a lot of the times, it's sold without anything. So you don't want to gift somebody a flashlight with no batteries. As far as keychain flashlights go, there are also a lot of options. I did a keychain flashlight roundup a long time ago. I think most of that is still relevant. Some of them have been upgraded and replaced. The flashlight that I fell in love with this year for my keychain is the Prometheus Beta QRF II. This is the titanium version, which is quite a bit more expensive than your standard versions. This one I think is around $125, and since it's the titanium one, it's sold out, you can't even get it. But they do start at just $35. And the reason it's called the QR in QRV2 stands for quick release. So you put this on your key ring and you can quickly detach the flashlight from your keys. And it has a beautiful warm beam. It has a very simple 3-mode interface that just progresses through low, medium, high. So if you leave it off for just more than a couple of seconds, it reverts back to low, medium, high, and then it'll just cycle through those. This is just a AAA flashlight. So if it dies on you and you're out and about, you can still just go buy a battery just about anywhere to throw in this flashlight. And I think these are really good bang for your buck. If you want something a little different than this and maybe a little smaller, Olight has the i1R EOS and now the i1R2 EOS, which is actually what I currently have on my keychain. But this one still reigns supreme for sure. All right, moving on, the Victorinox Cadet. This could not be a complete list without the Cadet. I said there were no knives. I view this more as a multi-tool than a knife because you do have multiple tools in here. It's a Swiss Army knife. But this one is a staple in the EDC community. because it's just rock solid. So this one is a little more expensive than your plastic scaled versions. I don't really like the Victorinox with the red plastic scales. I just don't. They just don't appeal to me. The Alox scales on this one and the Pioneer and the Pioneer X and a bunch of the other Alox version knives just feel more premium to me. Even though they use the same tools, they feel like they're gonna last a little longer, and I much prefer those. So on the Cadet, what you get is your primary blade. There's actually only one blade on this Swiss Army knife. You have a can opener with a Phillips driver. You have a flathead driver, a bottle opener, a wire stripper that really doesn't do much of anything. It's not great for stripping wire, and a nail cleaner and nail file and your little split ring. And that's it on the Alox version. So you sacrifice your toothpick and your tweezers, but I never really found myself using those. But if you are looking for options, you have bigger options like the Pioneer X. It has similar tools, plus you get a pair of scissors, and instead of a nail file, you get a reamer. So similar, just a little more robust, thicker stock, bigger, heavier tool. And if you want to go smaller, I've always got one of these in my pocket. The MiniChamp, but this one's pretty expensive for what it is. The Cadet is about 32. I think this one's somewhere in the $40 range, 45 maybe for the Pioneer X. And the MiniChamp in Alox is also almost 50 bucks. But the MiniChamp has a ton of tools, which I'm not gonna go through. I've talked about it a ton. The point is, an Alox Victorinox will be a really, really solid gift for anybody. And I'm gonna end this one on the most expensive thing on this list, and that is a Leatherman. Really any Leatherman would do, right? You've got the rebar, which is much more affordable. You have the Free series, which is their brand new series that came out earlier this year. I did a video on the Free versus the Wave and whether I think it was a valid upgrade. They have fixed one of my biggest complaints, which was this did not come with a pocket clip. The Free P2 came with a pocket clip. The Free P4 just came with a lanyard loop, which I thought was really silly, but they have fixed that. And this multi-tool has really started to grow on me as a one-handed tool. When I reach for a multi-tool in this office, this I carry in my backpack all the time. I always go for the Free series. I have the Wave, I have a Gerber center drive, I have a lot of different multi-tools. The Free P4 is the one I tend to go for. So if you want to see more on the Free P4 and the Free series and my thoughts on it, definitely go watch that video. But whether it's a Surge or a rebar or any of the Leathermans in between, a Leatherman is a really, really awesome gift for anybody. It doesn't have to be EDC. Your dad, your brother, your son, your mom, get them a Leatherman. My mom would love to have this Leatherman. I'm not gonna give you this Leatherman, Mom. It's mine. I'll give you my Wave, but I won't give you this one. That's gonna do it for this video. If you found it helpful and you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button down below and subscribe to see more stuff like this in the future, and hit that notification bell so you're notified when I upload new videos. And if you wanna support what I'm doing here, be sure to hit those links down below. If you're buying a gift for somebody, if you're buying something for yourself, just use those links down below. Those are affiliate links. It helps just keep the lights on here and cover the costs of running this channel, but it doesn't cost you anything extra. So you're gonna get the stuff you wanted to get anyway, and I get a little bit of a kickback. It's a win-win. You can also go to Carry Commission if you wanna support there and buy gear directly from me, or you can go to patreon.com/bestmedc to support there. And be sure to follow us around the web. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at bestmedc. There's now a Facebook page and a group that you can join that'll also be linked down below, and the Discord server. That's where I hang out most of the time. You can go in there and chat with me, chat with other people who are far more knowledgeable than me about other stuff. So if you need recommendations, that is a great place to go and ask questions. That'll also be linked down below. But with all of that said, and until next time, carry on. Whew. Take number 2. Because the mic wasn't on for take number 1. Go me. You'd think I'd know how to do that after 800 videos. Whatever.